And I am live. All right. Who's with me? Hello, Neon, Whirlwind. Shalom to you. So I go live on Instagram. I go live on TikTok. I've never gone live on what is this? YouTube. So it's happening here. It's happening now. Who's with me? Where are my people at? And where are you watching from? Hello, Neon Whirlwind. You're here. It's so far, it sounds like it's you. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. What's your story? YouTube. That's right. This is YouTube. So it looks like we have 4 people who are brave enough to join my live. I love you, Rabbi. Thank you. I send my love right back at you. Good evening from Massachusetts. Very good. So, guys, what should we talk about? You know, what should we chat about? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any suggestions? How was your Thanksgiving? Here's the big question. This Thanksgiving, we had a turkey. And if you watched my videos, not all Jewish people believe turkey is kosher. So, but we do. I don't eat a lot of meat. Generally, I make exceptions for holidays. Generally a vegetarian. Anyway, we had enough for Thursday night, and for Shabbat, normally we have chicken. We had turkey. And Saturday night, we had turkey too. So we're all turkeyed out. And Monday, where I just finished a class. I do a private course on Zoom, and this is called The World of Cabala. And there's 6 lessons. I just finished the 5th lesson here. I figured I'm sitting here, have the camera on, I have the mic. I always wanted to try YouTube Live, so I'm trying to figure it out. It says we got 6 people with us, but you guys have to ask questions if you want me to talk. You got to give me something to talk about. How do I see who are the people watching? Anyway, no questions. Greetings, Moon. Moon. Greetings, Moon. Welcome aboard. Can I invite people as guests? Let's see if it's possible. Oh, participants. Oh, it shows the participants. Very nice. I'm learning how to use this with you as we talk. Can you imagine this? So I have a list of participate. Boom. Shalom. Glad to be here. I'm glad you're here too. Anyway. So Hanukkah is upon us. Can you describe, summarize Cabala to someone who's never heard anything about it? Dibs. That's a great question. That's a really good question. And Cabala is such a complicated concept. So how do you say it? But I'm going to say it really short. I'm going to make it really simple for you. Just like a person has 2 parts, you have a body. That's what we see, we feel, we interact with, right? And we have a soul. That's the spiritual energy behind the body. That is the real person. So too, the study of Torah has 2 parts. The body, or the Bible, has the body and the soul. The body of the Bible are the stories and the laws, the story of Noah and the ark, and Joseph and the brothers, and all the, 10 commandments, do this, don't do that. That's the body of the Torah. Most people just study the stories and the laws. But there's a whole spiritual dimension, the soul of Torah, and that is the messages and the energy behind those stories. What did they represent? And that's the Cabala. studying the soul of the Torah. Okay, what other questions? First time live stream listener. Oh, really? So Billy's a first time live stream listener. I'm a first time live streamer at least on YouTube. So this is a first for us. Yeah, Henry, what did our Avos learn if the Torah wasn't given yet, especially Yaakov, 14 years in yeshiva? Well, that's a good question, but according to the Torah, according to the Medrash, the Torah was created before the world was created. God looked into the Torah, into the Bible, right? And used it as a blueprint to create the world. So the Torah was around. I guess average people didn't know it, but if you're a prophet like Abraham, I guess you had information and you knew the Torah. Tyler, do I believe the Torah is divine? I'd like to believe the Torah is divine, because if it's not divine, I don't think I would spend so much time adhering to all these rules. We got a lot of rules, man. A lot of people say, I want to be Jewish. I say, what are you, crazy? You want to be Jewish? You know how many rules we have? It's got a lot of rules. What we eat and what we don't eat, and when we work and when we don't work, and how many times you have to pray. And look, I love them. They're so meaningful and beautiful, but they're hard. I would never do it if I didn't think it was real. So I'd like to believe it's real. Yes. Mr. I can't read your name. Forgive me. Do Orthodox Jews recognize conservative and reform conversions if it's halacha? Ooh, you want to get controversial today. That's pretty cool. All right, so the controversial. No, Orthodox Judaism requires a person to convert orthodoxly. But it's not so simple. We wouldn't call a conservative conversion a non-conversion. We'd say it's a questionable conversion, because conservative Judaism doesn't follow halacha like Orthodox Judaism does. So that's what we would encourage the person to do it again. Yes. Shalom, Rabbi. Shalom. True. LOL. Thank you, Tyler. I don't remember what he said, but if you agree, I think it's awesome. What do you know about the Vedas? I don't know anything about Vedas. Don't forget to like the stream, because that can help it get to more people. Ooh, so do I like the stream, or do you guys like the stream? Who likes the stream to get the stream out? Anyway, people, I think we have to ask some controversial questions if we want the stream to get out there. But be nice to me. Tyler, I do. Thank you. Okay. Johnny. Oh, hey. Hey, Johnny. Welcome. I don't know. You just came. Rabbi Rap's here. I'm a Jewish influencer, rabbi. And this is my very first live YouTube streaming. So I'm trying to figure out how the platform works. And you are part of this experience. So thank you. Thanks for the reply, Rabbi. No problem. Shalom. Levi. Shalom. Namrovsky. Levi Namrovsky. Chabad Shliach. Shkoyach. Welcome. Moon. Thanks for the reminder. Dibs. Okay. Real estate, South Jersey. If you need real estate, go to Real Estate South Jersey. Okay. What is the exact process for a bar mitzvah for someone who is Jewish but hasn't been immersed in the faith until their 30s? What a great question. All right. Here's the answer. The answer is, this is what the rabbis and synagogues don't want you to know, but it's the truth. You don't need a bar mitzvah to be bar mitzvah. What? No way. Did he just say it? Yes, I just said it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Does that mean that no one should come to synagogue? No, on the contrary, you should. But bar or bat mitzvah just happens automatically when a person becomes 13 for a boy, 12 for a girl. It just happens. You become bar mitzvah, obligated, or a master, obligated in following all the commandments. Now, we make a big party and we celebrate the milestone and we teach you some stuff and we have you put on tefillin and all that stuff you should do. But if you're 30 and you're Jewish, that means you're already bar mitzvah. Now, if you want, come to synagogue. We could formalize it. You put on tefillin. We'll give you a blessing at the Torah. Even if you don't know Hebrew, we'll give you the English transliteration. You could do it. So anyway, I just cracked the bar mitzvah code. And a lot of rabbis are going to be really pissed at me right now for telling you the truth. You're already a bar mitzvah. That's it. What should Jews do when faced with anti-Semitism at work? That's a tough one, So much anti-Semitism. And today, anti-Semitism is now cloaked in anti-Zionism. Like, oh, I'm not anti-Semite, I'm just anti-Zionist. So it's a really difficult thing. Look, my position is speak up clearly, face it. Because throughout history, many times people brushed it under the rug and they hoped it'd go away, and it didn't go away. And by the time someone wanted to do something, it was already too late. So I just believe, and I know this might harm your business, it might harm your job, but in a respectful way, to stand up and say, I won't accept that. That is wrong. That's anti-Semitic. We don't, call it out. I believe doing it, because if we don't do it now, we won't be able to, when we want to do it, who knows what the situation will be. I've had people, someone in my synagogue has a big business, and he went to a rally to stand up for Israel and pray for the people that are captive and whatever. Someone saw him there, took a picture of him, and all of a sudden there's like people going on his website writing bad reviews. And he said, like, it's killing my business. What do I do? I said, look, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. All I know is if now you don't stand up to be a proud Jew, like, this is it. This is the time. It's a tough one. It hurts. Yes. Oh, real estate South Jersey. It's Gavin, by the way. Hey, Gavin, how you doing? Gavin's one of the members of our synagogue. So definitely go to Real Estate South Jersey for your real estate needs. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. What should Jews do when faced? Okay, we did that. I'm curious to know your belief about the Messiah. Tyler. Okay. Good question. One of the fundamental beliefs in Judaism is the idea of the coming of Messiah, and the world reaching a pinnacle where there's peace and harmony for all mankind, and where no longer will war be an act where no nation will fight one the other. We believe that everything we do is to bring the world to this utopia. So yeah, believe in the Mashiach. The Torah tells us there's a certain criteria for a person to be the Mashiach, to actually bring the world to this era. And, there are interesting laws about who that is. Someone asked another question, what do we think about Jesus? So Jesus doesn't fill that role. So Jesus can't be Messiah according to Judaism. If you believe in Jesus, it makes you a good person, and the world's a better place because of your belief in that, I think it's wonderful, but it's not a Jewish thing. Jews believing in Jesus just don't work together. We believe he lived. In the Talmud, it tells stories about him. He was a rabbi. He got kicked out of the yeshiva because whatever, he didn't get along with his rabbis. He was definitely a dynamic individual, but we don't see him as a prophet. Again, if you do, and the world's a better place because you do, I think it's awesome. But it's not a Jewish thing. Yes. Okay, we got a lot of questions. How does Chabad Lubavitch view the tzaddik Nachman of Breslov? So Reb Nachman of Breslov was a Hasidic rabbi, and he was very spiritual, and his teachings were beautiful, and they inspire many people even today. I've studied many of the teachings of Reb Nachman, and I've found inspiration. So I think Chabad's we're good with Reb Nachman. When we love the Nachman boys, because you go Israel, they come with these vans, they stop in the middle of the street, they're blaring music, they start dancing around. You got to smile if you see these guys. So they got good energy, and we like them. Shaina Zion. What happens if you miss lighting Shabbos candles, but Shabbos hasn't started yet? Does it have to be 18 minutes before? Okay, let me understand this. What happens if you miss Shabbos, lighting Shabbos candles, but Shabbos hasn't started yet, so you didn't miss it? So just light it. I'm not sure I understand your question. Maybe you could explain. All right, who else we got here? Bird's Eye. All right. I reached out to a rabbi to learn about Torah and possibly convert, but the rabbi never responded to my email. Should I resend another email or look for another rabbi? Was that me? Did you reach out to me? I'm not very good at responding. I get a lot of emails. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Look, bottom line is, in Judaism, we don't encourage conversion. Not that you can't convert. You can convert. It's very hard. But we don't encourage it, not because we don't want people to convert, or not because we think that, it's not for anyone. No, it's because we believe that God loves every person, even if they're not Jewish. And you don't need to be Jewish to be accepted by God. So because of that, we don't push conversion. On the contrary, if a person converts and they don't follow the 613 laws that are required by Judaism, they're harming themselves. They're harming their soul. If you're not Jewish and you follow just 7 laws, the 7 laws of Noah, you're good with God. Why would you put yourself into that predicament? So we generally don't encourage conversions. So you might have to push a little harder if you really want to convert. But again, I'm not sure you do. You look into it. Look into the 7 laws of Noah. All right. Does Judaism believe in a Messiah is born in every generation, but just didn't take on its role? Yes, the soul of Messiah is born into every generation. Very good. All right. Someone wrote a message and then retracted the message. And I wonder, what was the message? All right. Keep going. Oh, no, it wasn't you, Rabbi Raps. Okay, shoo. All right. Candles are supposed to be lit in 18 minutes before sunset. If it's 10 minutes before sunset, oh, okay, I understand your question. Yeah, you could light your candles up to sunset. So ideally do it within 18 minutes, but if you didn't, 10 minutes is fine. Can you expand on what Gula is? Gula? It was at a dinner with friends. They were discussing this in comparison to Mashiach. Oh, okay. Geula is a term used for Mashiach. Geula means like freedom. It means like taken out of exile. So when Mashiach comes, we will have the Geula. So it's one and the same concept. Redemption, right? Very good. Yeah, good questions, guys. Good questions. So still trying to understand this app a little more. You don't have access to this feature. I don't have access to that feature. I'm trying to understand all the features here. All right, we'll figure it out. What is this? Okay, what other questions do we have? No other questions? Do you believe the third temple will be rebuilt? Yes, when the Mashiach comes, the third temple will be rebuilt. That's right. That's one of the basic beliefs in Judaism. Anyway, guys, what else? What else? Any thoughts? Any complaints? Who has any complaints? Any complaints? Moon, it might be wise to hone in on what a man should do to be blessed. You'll have to explain that, what you mean by that. What does the Rebbe say about Baal Teshuvah? Okay, so in English, a Baal Teshuvah is a person who wasn't always observant, and they become observant. They're called a Baal Teshuvah, a master of return. That's what it's called. The Tanya says that a Baal Teshuvah is on a very high spiritual level because they were on a different path, and that path was not in sync with their soul and God and their purpose. And then they changed path, and the level that a Baal Teshuvah reach is even higher than a tzaddik, which is like a righteous person, because they've come so far. Since one of the Noahic laws are not to partake in idolatry, is it wrong as their fault for the billions of Christians and Hindus that worship idols if that was the only faith they were taught? Very good question. Let's start with Christianity, only because that might be a little easier to discuss. One of the 7 Noahic laws is to believe in God. Now, is the belief in Trinity, belief in God, because that's a problem for Jews believing Trinity, because 3 parts of God, that's problematic. So The answer is, for a Jewish person to believe in Trinity is a problem, because we have to believe just in God and no parts. But for a non-Jewish person to believe in Trinity, according to most opinions, is acceptable. And the reason is that's still considered to be believing in God, the same God that of Abraham. Even though there's three parts and that doesn't fit within the Jewish, definitions, but it's good enough to be considered a B'nai Noach, one of the followers of the children of Noach, and be accepted by God. So in Judaism, a Christian can fall into B'nai Noach category. Buddhism, I don't know. I don't really understand Buddhism much. I never studied it. But the idea of multiple gods and statues, that is a problem in Judaism and may not fall, probably not, into the idea of the Jewish idea of God. So is it their fault if they were taught something? Look, I don't know if a person could be blamed for not knowing anything. They only know one thing, right? Can't be helped. But are they following the God of Abraham? No. Yes. Oh, we got some more questions. You have 18 people in the chat. Great gematria. Thank you, Shaina. Right. Yeah. Gematria means a numerical significance, although we just went down to 17. We just lost one person. I was that boring. But, every number has significance in Judaism. So 18 represents Yud and Ches, life. Yeah. Our live took on a new life. Oh, Alice is here. Hi, Alice. Shalom. What can I do? Can I respond? No, I don't know how to respond to Alice. Okay. Real estate, South Jersey, trying to take advantage. By the way, real estate, South Jersey, I want to hear all about your Shabbos in Lakewood when I see you, because I'm sure it was interesting. Trying to take advantage of the ability to ask questions here. Ha ha ha. If someone were to start a charity that would be most benefit Judaism in modern times, what would that be? For Judaism, I think something that helps teach people that never had the opportunity to study real Judaism. I think that, tremendous percentage of Jewish people, like, even if they had a bar mitzvah, it's like, graduating, seventh grade and thinking, something about the world. You don't know much about Judaism by having a bar mitzvah. And unfortunately, most people, very sophisticated, even leaders of Jewish communities, many of them, they had a bar mitzvah and that was it. They never really studied Judaism. And I think that when people start to study Judaism, like really understand what it is, it will open up a universe to them of meaning, of purpose, of their destiny. So, so I think a charity that focuses on sharing this with people who never had the opportunity would be really cool. That's sort of what I do. Maybe a little self-serving there, but yeah, that's my thought. Thank you, Rabbi, for answering. Any recommendations on where to learn more about Judaism? I've done extensive research on my own, but I'm missing guidance. Okay, great question. So a few things. First of all, you got to follow Rabbi Raps on TikTok, on Instagram, and I'm very active on Instagram, more than, I hope the algorithm doesn't hear me say that on YouTube. And then they block people from seeing me because I said Instagram instead of YouTube. Oh my gosh, you think that actually works like that? Anyway, so follow me on all these platforms because I produce videos almost every single day about Jewish life. There are some great websites that you could really study more. I'm typing it right now. Chabad.org, an amazing resource. I just posted it. And I teach classes on Zoom. And if you're interested, rabbiraps@gmail.com. Send me a message. I could plug you in to study in depth. Real cool stuff. Yes. All right. Who else? One Israel. Hello. 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 Shalom. Why are you saying hello? You used to say shalom. Why are you saying hello? Shmuley Gurwitz. What do you call a frog in the middle of the road? Okay. What do you call it? I don't know. You tell me. Shmuley Gerwitz, collecting for Hanukkah Miftsoyim. Let's tell the people what you're collecting for. Okay. So basically, in the Chabad world, the teenagers, or, when they're in yeshiva, the greatest thing you could do is share the light of Hanukkah with people who don't know much about Judaism. So they go out to, places, and they put a menorah on the roof of their car, and they hand out free menorah kits, and that's called Mitzvah. So where do they buy all the kits from? So they raise money. So Shmuley is raising money for Mitzvah. Good job, Shmuley. Ali Tarechai, that's right. I went to Lubavitch Yeshiva, by the way. It's like the competing school. It's like the other school. Shmuley goes to Ali Torah. I went to Lubavitch Yeshiva. Those are like there's two schools teach the same thing, but East side, west side vibe. Moon, I'm a fan of Hillel right now. Yes, Hillel was a great sage. Moon, were you in my Cabala class? Why did you bring that up? I wonder. Okay. Real estate, South Jersey. You're right. I think it can change the world. Awesome. Andrew, question about the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Was he the originator of the entire Chabad movement, or is this just a branch of Chabad Orthodox Judaism? Good question. So there were 7 Chabad Rebbes, going back to the Alter Rebbe, who wrote the Tanya, which is like the Kabbalistic book. For the first 5 generations, Chabad was an insular group of mystics that lived in the, Ukrainian mountains, who would just pour their heart in prayer and study the Cabala. That's who we were. We were a very insular group, like many Hasidic groups. The previous Chabad Rebbe came to America, escaped the Russians. And then the Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, escaped the Germans. And when they came to America, they turned Judaism inside out. Instead of being like a insular movement, Chabad became an outreach. Although the word outreach is not a good word, because out sounds like out, no one's really out. But so Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson and his father-in-law really started it, changed everything we know about the Chabad movement. And instead of just being a bunch of mystics, we became these nutty rabbis that drive around with like the menorahs on our roof with music, playing Hanukkah songs. What do you think about the Palestinians that are actually descendants of Jews? Watch Palestinians of Jewish origin. Is it possible? Look, anything's possible. I'm not doubting that. I never heard of that before. Besides, when it comes to hate, family members, like the level of hate is a lot more intense than with strangers. So there's no question, Muslims and Jews, we are family, going all the way back to Abraham. So, if your neighbor says something, it's like, whatever. If your family says something, it's like, what did you say? So maybe that's the origin of a lot of these problems. This site changed my life. Chabad.org. Yep. What else, guys? What of the frog? I don't know. What's the difference between Jews and Samaritans? There was once a group of people who deviated from the traditional rabbinic Jewish path, and they became the Samaritans. But I don't know if there's like people that still exist that are ancestors of them, or that people that like picked up on their teachings. I'm not sure. Yes. Wow. We covered so many questions. But it's up to you to ask questions if you want me to stick around, because I think I'm going to finish up soon. What time is it? 10:27. I think I'm going to switch to. Someone's calling me. What do you think about the Karaite Jews? It's my understanding that they don't follow any Torah interpretation, exclusively follow the Torah. So you just, yes, look, the Karaite Jews follow a different. They don't fall within, at least the Jewish community. The traditional Jewish community doesn't recognize them. because they follow laws differently and they trace their lineage differently. So it doesn't necessarily work out. Are they connected? Are they doing a lot of stuff in the Torah? Yeah, probably. Um, are they? Are there? Is there DNA in their system? Probably. Oh yeah. Hey Rabbi, how are you, bro? Bro, I'm doing good. Ari, is it okay to say Merry Hanukkah? Yeah, why not? We wish you a Merry Hanukkah. We wish you. Why not? Marry? Like marry means happy. Um, Torah is good, bro, Rabbi. I've never been called bro Rabbi before, but I'll go with it, man. Your answer came the same time as my comment. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna take a little break, call that person back. I'm gonna jump on Instagram. I'm gonna do a live there, and then I'm gonna jump on TikTok and do a live there. And let's see whose questions are more entertaining, theirs or yours. No offense or anything. Just let's see. Anyway, guys, Lila Tov, good night. This is fun. Maybe we should do this more often. Yes, Shaina Zion, thank you for being part of my first live. This was great. We'll do this again. Like, follow, share, and good stuff. Happy Hanukkah. I was going to just go off, but I don't even know how to shut this thing off. I was just going to bye and be really classy about this. But here I am. I have no idea how to. Switch account, sign out. No, how do I go off? Okay, I guess I'll stay alive. What do I hit? So uncool. Oh, there it is. There's a button right behind my camera. End stream now. How do I send people menorahs? End.